I think I'll give a bit of context in terms of, or a bit of background in terms of our team. So I'm a sole marketer, and I don't mean a sole marketer in my department. I mean I am the only marketer for the business. So there is me as a sole marketer, and then we have two other colleagues who sit in the research team that do pitch in on content. So just to give a bit of background in terms of the headcount, which I think will give a bit of a better understanding in terms of how we structure it. And, if you've got more people than that, then hopefully it should be easier, albeit too many cooks can sometimes spoil the broth, as they say. But we have a relatively simple cadence. I think for 2023, our target is to post twice a day on LinkedIn. That's just one of my own targets. Release one podcast episode a week, create 2 high quality written pieces per month, and send 1 newsletter per week. And that was based on just our resource in terms of time. Like, for us to produce a high quality content piece when we don't actually have a dedicated writer, we think 2 a month is a relatively good sort of cadence to follow. If we get 25 pieces, very high quality content over the course of the year, that's great. We use monday.com for the planning side of it, the operations side of it. We have a board inside there that each of us can obviously look at, work and edit, add comments. We have a weekly content catch up for the 3 of us, for us to discuss all new ideas and for anything upcoming. And then what we do is, like I said, we have that post-production to-do list. So for every piece of content, it's like a 25 step process that we have to go through for each of them. And that's how we just keep stuff moving through. We have a Teams channel, Slack, whatever you want to use, where we have a proofing channel, other areas of the business pitch in and add comments. So we basically keep ourselves accountable with a fairly rigid structure. I do like structure. I love Excel. I love things that can be given deadlines and timelines and anything like that. And I think you've got to keep yourself accountable. Like we said, that consistency is key. So if you agree a cadence at the start of the year, then try your best to maintain that cadence. And share the load as best you can. Like I said, I do all of the execution of the content, the distribution, as well as the podcast. I handle the podcast, and then the written pieces are handled by one of my colleagues, Becky, and another called Zara, who help with the written content. So that gives a bit of a background as to how we sort of maintain that engine and keep it moving forward. Obviously, there are lots of other moving parts that you can't necessarily control. If you've got external sign off, for example, that's probably one of the biggest hurdles that you have to overcome. That can typically take anywhere from a few days to 2 weeks, 3 weeks sometimes, which can be frustrating. But yeah, that's a bit of a background.